Hey everyone, in this episode, we're going to talk about net metering and how it's diverged into two different meanings. Join me.
So, what is net metering?
Okay, net metering involves the traditional version, involves you putting solar panels on top of your roof. And the power company being connected to your house, where in the peak days of the summer, you end up flowing electricity this way, which normally it goes this way. Okay.
Und?
For the power company, on good days, they get extra energy. Because you basically function as a mini generator for their energy. You become a solar generator, basically.
Ja, war gut.
On the bad days, when you don't produce enough, or at night, they're the generator, and you're the consumer. But then on the nice days, the beautiful days, when all the solar's overcoming your uses for it, it gets sold back to them. So the power goes up. The energy company likes that because it will store that power for uses at other times, off or on peak times and stuff. When you look at your bill, it'll go down, and of course you become very happy.
Ja, war gut.
That's a happy person. Okay, that's basically it. So if on my house, which is a very small house, all I need is 6 kilowatts of power. That's basically the type of stuff that I need from solar to pretty much run everything I have at even its most peak time. Okay, so that's what net metering has been traditionally. Now, net metering, the government side, is a little bit different than the traditional mode. Net metering government side has the same stuff going on. Here's your power. You have your solar, and your panels are going to generate electricity that goes this way when the sun's high, and the power company will get energy when you start sending it back, and then of course on low hours it'll go toward you. And sorry, my camera, I'm using an old camera which shuts off randomly, and it just shut off. So where was I? All right, on net metering by the government program, what's happening is that they're incentivizing solar installers to come out here and spread the good news of solar. Okay, the same process happens, except now we got a middleman. We have the solar installer. This guy actually fronts the panels and everything, so it doesn't cost you a penny for it, or does it? All right, still get your solar panels, you're still generating energy for them, or for the grid. Power company still gets its money. Now, I live in a place called Florida. You ever hear that? There's a man that's very famous in Florida. Not in a positive way. There's several of them. And then there's Florida Man. Okay, Florida, which rammed through the political side of it a bill that says we have to maintain the grid for FPL or any electric company in Florida, even if we go off grid. So if we cut these things, we still have to pay the power company $26 a month.
No, not so good.
Okay, let's look at our bill. We got a bill here, $26 a month. So we already have that. I'm going to put that here. In my household, our energy went all the way up to $200 a month in average. So matter of fact, I pay about $200 a month all the time. Of course, I'm in the averaging program. So in another video, we'll talk about that. But $26, I still have to pay that $26. The solar installer will give you free panels. Let me see, free panels. And all the hookup equipment, which is about 2 things, to get you on the grid. And then what they will do is they'll prorate the cost of it over a 30-year period. So what happens here? $26. Remember my bill was going down like this? My bill, their estimate for me is $26 less than my average bill. So the installer will charge me $174. So my bill never goes anywhere. And this lasts for, wait for it, 30 years.
No, not so good.
So for 30 years, I'm paying them $174. Okay? So at the end of that 30 years, I have paid, this is even better, approximately $50,000 for those panels that they put on my roof. Oh, it's not that bad. It's over 30 years. Okay.
Und?
Why is it not bad? Well, I guess you prorate it. $174 a month, no problem. But you're paying for about $20,000 worth of equipment. So right away, you've got a mortgage on your house.
Und?
What happens? Well, I'll just make it up on the energy I sell back. Sorry. These guys, the solar installers, own your energy now. You gave it away. You're paying $174 to them, but they take the excess energy. So for 30 years, all extra energy they get. So you get $50,000 plus 30 years of extra energy from your house. At this point, I would say I'm a little confused. How does that work?
Ja.
Well, this is the function of these solar installers. There wouldn't be any drive for them to get on your house for free if all they got was the 30-year mortgage. It's a good thing for them, yes, but it's just icing on the cake. So they get all the extra energy. I've gone through 3, 4, 5 of them at least. I think it's 3. I gotta honestly, and I knew I wasn't getting anything from them, but it was tantalizing that they were calling it a net metering program, and then all of a sudden the end user wasn't getting any benefit out of it, but somebody else was using their roof. Okay, I went through that process. They look at my house, a north, south, east, west house, only 840 square feet, by the way, 1,000 under roof. And they tell me that I need 13.3 kilowatts of panels. What? 13.3 kilowatts. Well, it's happening. North, south, east, west. I'm down low enough where my east-west sides get pretty good. Just putting them at an angle, they're going to be pretty efficient for quite a long time. So what they're doing is they're maximizing this energy at the expense of your roof. So now, roof decreases. Oh, they say they'll fix leaks in the roof. Here's the problem. Solar installers, for the most part, have been on this planet, well, this latest wave, less than, to the left, 3 years. How long do you think they're going to be functioning without this program? And how many of these companies are going to fold and then reinvigorate themselves, shut off, come back as someone else?
No, no, not so good.
I mean, this is easy money. This is the lowest hanging fruit. Okay, so when you look at all of this, it really bothers me that the end user doesn't do anything there. And I've had them come up to me and say, oh, well, you're saving the power in the country, you know, all that stuff. Like, no. I want to not have to pay for other people's mistakes because I feel like I've been living a pretty... Sorry, camera just shut down again.
No, no, not so good.
So I don't want to sit here and pay for other people's excesses in energy use. I want to have a balance. I want to get to a balance where we have a net zero effect at my house. Net zero. No carbon dioxide's coming out. No methane. None of that stuff. Okay? I don't. Everything recycles. I don't want somebody else to be suckering off me or basically it's a parasite to me. Okay? That's my more extreme view of it. But once again, net metering government program is about having a person in between who actually invests in the solar on your house but reaps the benefits from that solar on your house. And they reap it on the same thing as a mortgage. How much does 13.3 kilowatts cost? And by the way, there's only like 2 other devices you have to put on this to keep it going, to make it to put it in, to get it on grid. And the combined cost on all of those, if you go high end, is about $2,000. Well, 400 watts is about $200. It's 50 cents a watt. So 1,000 watts is about $50. Is that right? 1,000 watts, about $50. So you're looking at about $900 worth of actual materials. Whoa, man! Whoa, we gotta stop here. I started tossing around numbers there like they were like it was politics. Jeez, $500. I don't know where I came up with that. But let me get you down to what happens here. 400 watt solar panels, about $200. You can even see them sometimes on these sites. So you look up 400 watt solar panel. By the way, go for bifacial if you can. You can clearly see that they're trending even lower than $200 now. But what I was saying, in essence, is right. When you sit there and look at a $200 solar panel, 400 watt to $200 solar panel, and you're looking at 13,300 watts, which is 13.3 kilowatts, and you divide 400 watts into that, 400 into there times 30 will get you up to 12,000, I believe, right? 300, yeah. Okay, then that leaves you $1,300 watts, $1,300, which will give you like another 3 panels. So you're looking at $200 times 33 panels, which is about $6,600. When you add all the mounts and inverters, sorry, my writing's even worse. Inverter, connections to the grid, etc. That's an O, which is not the way they're spelled nowadays, but that's the correct spelling. Inverters, mounts, I'm going to put MPPT. Basically, how you get it to the grid, that gives you another about, I'm going to put 3,000. I'm going to go way over about $3,000. That gives you $9,600. I asked about the extra energy we were generating from several of them, and since this video, which I just cut in for, I had one guy call up and try to close the deal on me. By the way, I'm not closing on any of these because I find them scams. But yeah, telling me that they would give me back power if I needed more power. I said, you know, what if my power usage went up? Yeah, he said, well, no, we'll give it back to you and stuff. I said, okay, well, I need it, so why don't we apply it against my payment? Dead space. And that was it. That was the end of our conversation. So I'm going to bring you back into that. I just apologize for the needless, errant math. Thanks. $50,000, $13,000 to $18,000. Why would you put 13.3 kilowatts on a house that's 1,000 square feet? Well, it's more like that. So you talk about ecology, environment, and all that stuff. Probably the worst thing in the world is to double the treble the amount of panels on there because they have to be manufactured. They're not all zero carbon footprint. So I hope you kind of get the differences. Now, some people will go with this because it's just an easy thing to do. You say yes, they signed a contract, but you never get your bill to change. You say, well, the bills are always going to rise. No, they aren't. They get enough of these out here, the bills will start to go downward. Because you got all these micro generators, solar generators out there. Every house is a micro solar generator. Got all these out there. You're going to start seeing the bill going down. It's a disruptor. Solar power is a disruptor to traditional energy. So what you need to do is you need to think carefully before you go with it. If you buy the environmental thing and you're not very environmental to begin with, go ahead and do it. But you know something, that diesel truck in your yard, you can make a much greater impact by turning it into a electric truck or just turning it off. Sorry, diesel people. I do have some gas here. All right, I hope that helps. Let's get back to the project. Okay, guys, I know you were wondering what the project was, but there is no project at this moment apart from setting up my shop. I do have videos on that, and my videos will be coming out as I feel I get to those points. It was important for me to let you know what net metering is because I run into it all the time now. People around here, people are gridding up, but they're not, or they're solaring up, but they're not getting the advantages. And I feel like there needs to be a distinct stop between the overuse and net metering and the wrongful use of it, in my opinion. If you can see, I've done a lot of stuff in that. This was a battery powered generator. I do have an inverter for it and all that. I've upgraded those significantly. You'll see that. And I also have solar, a portable solar at this point. My first steps, I'm looking at more of an off-grid, on-grid, potentially just a total off-grid. And I hope that our Florida governments get their act together and tell us that, and actually get rid of the crap that they've put in with the major electrical companies here. So I hope that helped you a lot. Give me some comments if you feel I've missed a point, got a point, done it. Haven't done my homework because I've got a lot of backup on this one. As usual, this is Dave of Saving Our Sanctuary. This is one step forward into the future, and I am out.